Garlic. Everybody has their opinion about garlic, and I bet every human being must use garlic in some way. I can't imagine living without it. So today, I want to show you how to buy garlic, and I want to show you how to do the different ways of cutting it up, and show you how to roast it. So let's start with how you buy it. Down here we have the garlic in a jar, and you can get it in different ways. You can get it minced where it's really small pieces, or you can get it chopped where the pieces are bigger. Now both of these have an oil and a preservative like a citric acid that keeps them fresh. You have to refrigerate those after the opening. They sell them in packages now. They're a little bit smaller, but then they are protected while they're being shipped. So this is a really good way to buy them. You want to be sure and press on them and be sure that they are hard. They're not soft and gushy, and they don't have any green sprouts coming out the top like this one. This is one that you don't want to buy because it's starting to reproduce and it wants to become another plant. And you'll see that that's how they do it with each one of these cloves, they're called. But this one is starting to sprout. You don't want green sprouts, okay? Then, when you're looking for the ones that are bulk and they're laying there on the shelf, this is almost a perfect garlic. You see how smooth it is? The paper's not coming apart. It's called paper, the little thin layers. This is just beautiful. It's still protected. All the cloves are inside. This is called a head. And then this one has a kind of a rusty looking bottom on it. I would avoid this. You don't know why it got that way. And if you'll notice, right underneath the first layer is the garlic clove, because each one of the pieces, I don't know if I can get that undone or not, is a clove. And having the jarred kind in the refrigerator makes it really easy when you just need that little teaspoon to add, and you're doing your meal really quickly, and you want to add this in. The one thing that most people don't realize is that the raw garlic is the mild form of the garlic. When you are trying to get the cloves off, you'll notice you can see the little ridges between. So what I do is I just take a knife and they pop off. And then you've got your clove that still has its covering on it. And we need to get that off. And the easiest way to get that off is to take a knife that's really flat. This is my favorite one for doing that. And then you just put it on top and push it or slap it, and then you can peel it off the outer layer. This is really hard, it's not edible, and it really protects your clove of garlic really well. Now it still has a little bottom where it was attached. You want to cut that off too because it can be hard and you don't want to put that in the dish. So I just take my knife and just cut that off. Okay, now I've got this whole garlic. As I said, the raw whole garlic is the most mild form of garlic that you're going to have. You can use this and rub the inside of a salad bowl before you put your greens, and it'll have that aroma of garlic to it. Or you can take these and you can rub them on your meat before you put them in. That way you don't have to worry about people finding the piece of garlic for those people that don't like it. And to do that, you might want to slice it in half because then the juices come out. So that's the whole garlic. There are some people that like to eat the whole garlics, plain, raw, and you can do that. Now, the other thing to do with them is to get them into smaller pieces so you can cook it. So I want to show you how to do that. Now, my favorite gadget, I don't have very many gadgets, but this one I do. It's for doing garlic. And you put it on, and then you can slice it, as you can see right here, down like that, or you can turn it over and mince it, which is on these blades. Which to me is a lot easier than the garlic press. So you take the whole garlic, drop it in, you put this on top, you hold it at the top, and then you just go up and down. And there it is. There's your minced garlic. Now, I don't care for the chopped garlic. I like it this way or whole. Or I slice the whole pieces into 2 pieces. Let me show you how to do that. So you take one of the garlics, you mash it so you can get into the skin off of it. And then you can just cut it like it's any other piece of vegetable. And somebody asked me the other day, is this a vegetable? This is part of the onion family, so I think it's a vegetable. We kind of use it more like an herb. So now you can, now that I have it out of its skin, I've taken the bottom off, you can just cut it a couple of times. And then you could use this in your meal. Now, I do like to cut it. I don't usually put it in the stews and stuff whole, because this way the juices come out better. Now we're going to saute this. So let's put this. And you can use butter or olive oil. So I like to mix them together. This is a little bit of olive oil and butter. Now, the other way to do it is to roast it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Roasting a garlic makes it so that it's spreadable, believe it or not. You put this garlic, but you need to get into the inside of it. So I take my knife and I cut it off so that, see, I can see the tops of the garlic cloves. And on the other side, I've cut the little tips off of the garlic cloves. The reason why you want to do this is so that it can cook well and it'll get really spreadable. Now, some of these on the outside didn't get because they were shorter. I don't worry about that. I just stick it all in. You keep it in with the papers and everything, and you stick that there. And then what you do is you take a little bit of olive oil and you get it pretty wet. You don't want to have it like that. You don't want to get it really covered. Then you take a piece of foil and wrap it up tightly. You don't want it, it's kind of like putting the lid on the pan. So you put it all the way around like that. And you could do more than one head of garlic. You could put several in here. You could fill up the whole thing if you were going to have a party, or if you like to put it ahead of time. You put this in the oven at 350 for 1 hour. And when they come out, you can squish them out and use it as a spread. Wonderful stuff. Now, if you were going to make pesto, which is another great use for garlic, and you mix it in with the basil, you want to be sure that, I don't like to put the raw garlic in there, and so I take a whole one and I just kind of saute it a little bit to get it a little softer. So go to my website and look for more ideas with garlic.